Hello and welcome member to this video tutorial regarding creating and managing user mailboxes in Microsoft Exchange, and these steps and this whole process require some key several steps. So here in this video we will give you a detailed guide including the necessary actions and the steps, and this will reflect the updated procedure of the current Microsoft Admin Center. So let's log on to the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and we have already logged in here by using our credentials. And here on the left you have few options, because if you wanted to create a new user mailbox in Exchange Online, so you need to log in first and with your administrative credential, and then you need to navigate to the user, and once you navigate it, then click to the active user, and there you will add a user, and you need to add some basic necessary details regarding the user, like the display name, username, and domain, and ensure that you assign a product license that is necessary to have the user mailbox in the Exchange environment. Because if you created the user and if you didn't assign the license that contained the Exchange Online product, so this user will no longer have access on the user mailbox. So you need to be sure, and we have covered this part in the previous video. You can go back and watch that video, that which license we have chosen in that video, and which are the licenses available that contain the Exchange Online product. But right now we are not going to create the user because I have already created the user before, and let me show you that this user have the license, and you can see this GSS test user 2, and it has the license Office 365 E5, and this specific license has this Microsoft Exchange Online product. So let me click and show you that we can proceed regarding the Exchange stuff with this user account because it has the license. And you can see that as soon as we click to the mails, you can start seeing the options to configure settings for the mailbox, and read and manage permission and all this stuff regarding the Exchange Online. But unlikely if we go to the other user that is unlicensed, and if we try to access and set up the mail environment, so you will see that this user doesn't have an Exchange Online license. So this message will tell you that this is a blocker, and you need to first assign the license and then move on. And we have covered this part in the previous video. So let's get back straight to the stuff that we wanted to show you and discuss in this video. Now, to modify the property of an existing user mailbox, you need to access the user settings, and here you will click to the mail tab in their detail pane, and here you can manage settings such as the email aliases by setting by clicking and selecting the manage email aliases, or you can enter the desired alias that you want. You can save the settings, and this will allow for flexible customization. And this thing can be managed from the Exchange Admin Center as well. So let me open the Exchange Admin Center to show you that how you can do that from the Exchange environment. Now here you can see that you have opened the Exchange Admin Center, and if you click to the mailboxes, so you will see all those users which have the license. So we just have this user that have this Exchange license. So let's click to that user, and once you select that user, you will see that there are a few options that are available to visible here. And to change the aliases of your email, you need to click to the edit button, and here it asks you that what you wanted to edit, like the contact information or the email address. So you can select the email address and you can change it from here. So right now it is GSS test user 2, so we can make it like 03 and click to save. So then it will be reflected to the user, and the email address of this user has been changed. But for the testing purpose, for the lab environment, I'm not gonna go with the same changes. Just wanted to show you that how you can change the email aliases of the account that have the license. And let's go back to the Admin Center Microsoft 365, And here you can see we have following settings that you can manage. Still being on the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you can still manage all these settings regarding the Exchange environment, like what the mailbox permission, email apps, showing global address list, email forwarding, auto replies, more action. Then you can manage email apps, and all you need to do is to click to manage email apps. And what happened that when you click here, so it show up these apps where JSS user 2 can access the Microsoft 365 emails, and you just have to toggle the switches to enable or disable the access or remove the check. Now here you can see Outlook on the web. So when you remove the check from here, what happens that user will no longer have access to check the emails over the Outlook on the web. And same with the Outlook desktop, same with the Exchange web services. If you remove the check from mobile Exchange active sync, so it won't work on the mobile application. Same with the IMAP and POP. So this is how you can manage and set up and restrict the email apps from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Similarly, you can manage the email forwarding from here, and you just click to the manage email forwarding, and you need to select and provide the email address here. And what's going to happen, keep a copy of forwarded email in this mailbox. So if you keep the check here, so what's happened that the email will be forwarded to the email address that you mentioned here, and there will be a copy that will be sent to your mailbox. But if you remove the check from here, so there will be no copy you will find in your mailbox of that email. Now showing the global address list, so you can click to manage global address list visibility and just go with this option which is already selected, show in my organization address list. But if you turn this off, so this user won't appear in your organization address list but still receive the email. So it's up to you. So you can manage almost all the basic settings from the Microsoft 365 Admin Center regarding the mail stuff, like the automatic replies, which you can enable from here. You can turn on and set up, and provide the text that you wanted to display whenever you receive any email in the auto response. So in this way, if you just have the Microsoft 365 Admin Center access, so you can manage this much stuff regarding the email options and Exchange. And there are some options that needs to be managed from the Exchange environment. But if you wanted to create or if you wanted to remove that mailbox of this user, so in terms of Microsoft 365 Admin Center, you can just delete the user. So it will delete the user and delete the mailbox as well. So this is the pretty basic and easy step. Now let's talk about managing the shared mailboxes. So you need to go to the active teams and groups, and once you click here, you will see few more options available. But here under policies and deleted groups, there's an option shared mailboxes. So you need to go here if you want to create the shared mailboxes in your Exchange environment, and you need to click to add a shared mailbox, and here you need to provide the name. So let's type the name something like team01, and it is checking the availability of the email that you are creating as a shared mailbox. And here you can set up the domain for your shared mailbox and click to save. Well, your shared mailbox was created, and you can add members to your shared mailbox. So you can directly click to this link, and this will let you to add the members. So currently we just have this user who have this Exchange license. That's why you can add a single member. But if you have multiple users who have this license, so you can add all these members into your shared mailbox. Now this change has been saved, and click to cross. And once you click again or select your shared mailbox, so you can see there are some options that available which you can manage. Like here you can assign the appropriate permission like read and manage and send as to the member. All you can manage from here. Likewise, you were managing from the single user account. And here's the aliases for the shared mailbox. This is a primary email address, automatic replies, send items, and here you can manage the permissions. So you can add permission, you can remove permission from here. But if you wanted to deeply manage your shared mailbox or the single user mailbox, so you need to go to the Exchange settings, and all you need to do is to click to edit, and then you will have the Exchange Admin Center environment, and here you will see some more options that will let you to deeply manage your shared mailbox, and you need to switch to the mailbox tab, and here you can further manage the email environment, like you can manage the message size restriction. If you click to this link, you can provide the send message size that must be any size that is compliant with your environment, and or you can set up the receive message size, so you can manage all these restrictions from here. And in the same way, you have other options that are already available in the Microsoft 365 environment and here as well. But in the Exchange environment, you can see a few more options like the message delivery restrictions. So you can set these restrictions like accept message from all sender, which is already selected by default. But you can set up the selected members or required senders to be authenticated. This is more secure and adding and providing you more dynamic email environment, and block messages from. So you can select the members whose email you want to block in your mailbox. So this is the way you can manage your user mailbox and your shared